My husband belittled me for years, making me feel like I was nothing. I waited, took control of our finances, and left him the day he lost his job. Now he's broke, unemployed, and living with his mom. He calls me nonstop, but I've blocked him everywhere. I met Aaron at Murphy's, a bar downtown where my coworkers and I would go after work on Fridays. I was an administrative assistant at an insurance firm, and he worked in middle management at a manufacturing company. He had this confidence about him, bought me a drink, and made me feel like I was the most interesting person in the room. 2 years later, we were married. My friends thought it was too fast, especially my best friend Tessa, but I was sure. Looking back, I should have seen the sign. I should have seen the signs how he insisted we like combine our finances immediately because that's what married couples do, and how he would joke, "Good thing I'm here to handle the money," or you'd blow it all on home decor and coffee runs. His teasing started off playful, but once our accounts merged, the jokes got sharper. If I bought groceries, $8 for oat milk, no wonder I have to keep an eye on the bank statements. If I got a small raise, well, it's not like they're gonna make you a manager, but hey, at least they threw you a bone. If I mentioned wanting a promotion, honey, that's not really your lane. Besides, I make enough for both of us. It was always followed by, I'm just teasing, or, I love you. And I believed him because that's what I thought marriage was. My parents had a similar dynamic. My dad always making fun of my mom's cooking, her hobbies, or her weight. 2 years ago, things started changing. Aaron started coming home later. First, an hour late, then two. Sometimes he smelled like beer, sometimes like cheap cologne. When I asked, he brushed it off. Drinks with the guys, or had to take a client out, then he'd joke about how cute my suspicion was and how I should stick to worrying about what scented candles to buy. Our intimacy changed too. He stopped initiating unless he was drunk. When I tried, he'd make offhanded comments about my body. Never direct insults, just little remarks that chipped away at me. "You've got that little belly now," he'd say, poking my stomach. Or, "Your boobs look different. Maybe it's the weight gain." I'm 5 feet 6 inches and weigh 145 pounds, basically the same as when we met. When I started pulling away, he turned it against me. "This is why men cheat," he muttered one night, scrolling through Instagram, when their wives stopped putting out. He never admitted to cheating, but the implication was always there. Last summer, I noticed our savings account was lower than it should be. When I brought it up, he exploded. "You're checking up on me now? Don't you trust me? I make the real money here." He slammed the door so hard that a framed photo of our wedding fell off the wall. That night, while he snored beside me, I checked our online banking. There were withdrawals, small but consistent, $200 here, $300 there, always on Fridays. Over time, it added up to thousands. The next day, I mentioned it to my coworker, James, who always talked about investing and finances. He frowned and said, "That sounds sketchy. You should start putting money aside just in case." I started small, opened a separate bank account with my personal email, one Aaron didn't have access to, set up direct deposits, just $100 per paycheck at first. Aaron never noticed because he only checked the joint account. I picked up extra shifts when work was backed up, telling him I was just helping out, but I was pocketing the overtime pay. By Christmas, things got worse. Aaron came home furious after his company holiday party. He'd been passed over for a promotion again. Freaking Logan got it. Probably because he kissed the boss's ass, he grumbled. "Your type always does that, right? Not really leadership material." That was when I realized something. My husband was mediocre, not just as a person, but at his job. Once the thought hit, I couldn't unthink it. In February, I found credit card statements from an account I didn't know existed. Statements sent to his work email. Ones I only saw because he left his laptop open. Charges from places like VIP Lounge and Moonlight Entertainment. Google told me those were strip clubs near his office. I didn't confront him. I just increased my secret savings contributions and started browsing apartment listings during my lunch breaks. In March, rumors of layoffs started at his company. Aaron came home even more irritable, drinking more, making crueler jokes. If I lose my job, you'll finally have to learn what real work is, he sneered. Meanwhile, I was quietly calculating how many more paychecks I needed before I could leave. Then it happened. One afternoon, Aaron called me at work. They let me go, he said, his voice tight with anger. Logan's department was spared. Figures. My heart raced as he continued. Don't bother making dinner. I'm going out with the guys. He came home at 2 a.m., stumbling drunk. I pretended to be asleep as he muttered to himself about how ungrateful I was, how he had sacrificed everything. The next morning, while he nursed a hangover, I quietly transferred the last of my share of our joint savings to my personal account. When he finally woke up, red-eyed and bitter, he announced, "We're moving in with my parents until I find something. You'll need to quit your little job. Not like you make enough to matter." I nodded, saying nothing, thinking about the apartment lease I'd signed yesterday. He scoffed. "What, no opinion? Of course not. You never have anything valuable to contribute," and something inside me snapped. For years, I let this average balding man with a beer gut convince me I was nothing. I looked at him, really looked at him, and saw him for what he was. Actually, as I said, no, soda, voice calm, I do have an opinion. That's when I told him I was leaving, that I had been planning it for months, that I knew about the missing money, the strip clubs, all of it. His face contorted through shock, disbelief, rage, and finally, fear. "You can't leave," he sputtered. "You're nothing without me. Who's gonna want you?" I smiled, grabbed my pre-packed suitcase from the hall closet, and walked out. It's been a week. I'm writing this from my new apartment. Nothing fancy, just a one-bedroom near the park. Aaron has called me over 100 times, left voicemails swinging from apologies to insults. He found out I moved most of our savings, all legal, of course. He's staying with his mom now, no job, no savings, no wife, just his childhood bedroom and his wounded ego.